Hey y'all, it's Ryan. I have been on the hunt for a planner, it seems like for ages, and I just haven't found one that gives me space for my daily tasks and agenda, as well as my creative daily doodles. I have tried pre-made planners, both paper and digital, and just haven't found one that I really like. So in today's video, I'm going to show y'all how I create my own digital planner and upload it into the Goodnotes app on my iPad. So let's get into it. When I first started creating my own digital planners, I tried including all the pages that I found in all the planners that I had tried previously with the monthly spreads, the weekly spreads, and the daily. And that was just way too many pages for me to use, as well as create. So I cut it down just a little bit, and I only have a monthly page and then weekly pages, and that's it. So I've become pretty comfortable when creating things like this in Google Slides. So that's where we're going to start. So first, what we need to do is go into Drive and create a new slides presentation. You can do this a few ways. The first way is going into your Drive, clicking New, Google Slides, Blank Presentation. The second way is coming up to your Google Apps in the upper right-hand corner, scrolling down until you find Slides. My favorite way by far is to open a new tab and just type in slides.new into the address bar at the top, and it automatically creates that blank presentation for me. So I automatically close out that themes menu and clear out the text boxes that are here. And then next I give it a title. So this is my February 24 planner. Next, I'm going to resize my slide so that it fits the best in the Goodnotes app. So to do that, I'm going to come up to File, Page Setup, change widescreen to custom, and I'm going to change this to 27 by 22 inches. Once I have my slide set up for the correct size, the next thing I'm going to do is start creating the design for it. First, I'll change the background color on this one slide and add it to the theme, so that way it will be done on all my slides for me. To do this, I'm going to click Background in the top menu, select the color that I want to change it to. I really like this tealy blue color, and then I'm going to click Add to Theme. So now when I click on my plus slide, the plus sign to add a new slide, it's automatically set to that color as my background. Now I'm going to build the majority of this planner in one slide and then duplicate it over and over again until I have the correct amount of weeks I need for that month. Before I start adding any icons into this slide, I'm going to give myself a boundary to stay within. So I'm going to come up to my shapes icon and I'm going to add a rectangle. Now again, the reason I do this is to give myself a boundary to stay in and to make sure that any elements that I put in this rectangle show up on my screen. So I'm going to change the fill to a little bit lighter color gray. I'm going to change the border color to pure black, and I'm going to up the weight to 3 so it's nice and visible against that blue. Next, I'm going to start adding icons and buttons so that when I download this planner, they're hyperlinked to jump around the planner for me so I don't have to swipe through all the pages. I like to set my image for like a home button as a calendar because it'll take me back to this monthly page. So monthly calendar kind of makes sense for me. So I'm going to resize the icon that I have. I'm going to put it in the upper left-hand corner. So as I duplicate these slides, these buttons stay where they are. I don't have to remake them every single time. So now I'm going to make buttons or icons for weeks 1 through 5 because February has 5 weeks in it. To do that, I'm actually going to use word art. So I'm going to click Insert, Word Art, and just type in W1. I'm going to choose a different font. I've been on a real big McLaren kick. I don't know why. It's fun, it's bubbly, and when you make it bold, it's even better. And then I'm going to change the fill to match the blue that I have in the background, and then the border color and weight. And then I'm going to resize it to match the size of my calendar icon, and then center it along the top here. So there I have week 1. Now I'm going to duplicate this and change the numbers for weeks 2 through 5. To duplicate, I'm going to click on the W1 until it's highlighted. I'm going to click Control D as in dog on my keyboard, and then change the W1 to W2. Now, I'm going to keep doing this, but as you notice, or you might have noticed, that whenever I drag this up, I have the red line showing me that they're level, they're centered with each other, and then I have the blue lines at the bottom telling me that these are the same width apart. That's what I'm looking for whenever I'm creating these buttons, just because I'm a stickler for that. So I want them to be the same width apart, and I also want them to be level with each other, to be even. So now I have my last button. From here, I'm going to start creating the weekly pages that I'll use. So that way, again, those buttons are on every single page, and then I'm going to start linking them. So I'm going to just duplicate this slide. I have my slide outlined in blue. Again, on my keyboard, I'm going to hit Control D for dog. I'm going to do that a total of 5 times for the 5 weeks that are in the month of February. So now I have all of my buttons created on all of my pages. I need to link them to the correct slide that they go with. To do that, I'm going to start with my calendar icon. I'm going to click the insert link. I'm going to make sure it stays on slide 1. Here is a trick that I found whenever doing the same link over and over again. I'm going to click copy link right here. I'm going to come to my second slide, click on that calendar again, click insert link, and just paste that link to slide 1 into slide 2. Because I have found so many times whenever I'm trying to hyperlink to another slide in the presentation, if I go back in and I move slides around, the link jumps around and it gets all crazy. So it's easier for me to just copy the link, make sure it goes to slide 1, and be done. So now that I have the calendar icon linked on all of my slides, I'm going to go through and do the same thing for the week 1 through 5 buttons that I'm going to be using in the planner. So now I have all of my buttons linked to the correct slide. I'm going to come back to slide 1 and create my monthly calendar for that page. So to do that, I'm going to insert a table. So there are 7 days in the week, so I'm going to go over 7. But then I know there are 5 weeks in this month, but I do want a title little cell at the top for my days of the week. So I'm going to do a 7x6 table. I'm going to take it up to the top of my slide, and then I'm also going to bring it over so that I'm giving myself space on this side of the page for a doodle or an image that I want to insert or draw. So I'm going to drag that table down to the bottom to give me plenty of space. And the top line of cells is going to just say the days of the week, so I don't need them that big. So I'm going to drag them up. And then I'm going to highlight them all, set the font again to McLaren. I'm going to change it to 24. And then I'm going to change the text color to white because the fill is going to be black. Lastly, I'm going to make sure that they're centered in the cell and then centered again within the cell, and bold. So I'll come in here, type in my days, So Wednesday and Thursday are squished. They're not all in one line. So I'm going to come to the side of my table. I'm going to drag it out just a little bit until I get all my days of the week on one line. So here I have my table set. I'm going to select the table once more and change the border color and weight just to make it stand out on the page. The last thing I'm going to do with this table is I'm going to bump it over just a little bit because I am going to copy my buttons here at the top and paste them going down the side of this table, just so that way I have another spot where it has the weeks labeled for me and linked. All right, so I'm going to grab all 5 of these. I'm going to make them just a hair bigger. And then I'm also going to tilt all of them so that they're all tilted at the same angle. All right, so the last thing that I need to do within this table is, and you can decide to do this or not, I like taking the time to do it. This is totally up to you. I'm going to highlight all the cells. I'm going to change my font to McLaren, and I'm going to bump it up to 36. The text color is going to be black, and then I'm going to make sure it is centered all the way over to the right and at the very top. So I am going to go through and I'm going to date or add the dates to this monthly calendar. So since it starts on that Monday is the 29th, then we have the 30th and the 31st. So I'm going to highlight those cells and make that text gray because those are not the dates in February. And then I will continue on adding in the dates for the month of February in the correct spot. So now that I have the ending of January and then the beginning of March, I'm going to do the same thing with the numbers for the beginning of March. I'm going to change them to gray. Now I have all of my dates set for the month. Now I need to start working on the setup for my daily pages. So I am going to create a daily page that has Monday through Sunday all on one. So I'm going to split my page down the middle so I have half the week on one side and half of the week on the other. I want to make sure that I am dead center on these pages, so I'm going to add a guide onto my slide. To do that, I'm going to go to View, Guides, Add Vertical Guide. So now I know this line is the center of this page, so anything that I build on the left-hand side is going to be Monday through Wednesday, and on the right-hand side is going to be Thursday through Sunday. So let's start building the boxes in which I'm writing out all of my tasks and agenda for the day. First, I'm going to start by inserting a table. At the top of my page, I like to have 3 priorities for the week, so I'm going to give myself that space. So I'm going to go to Insert, Table, I'm going to go over 3 by 2, and then I'm going to resize this table to fit just on the left-hand side of my page. So I'm going to change the border weight and color, and then I'm going to drag the bottom down just a smidge and resize the top. Going to select all of these cells, right click and click merge to make them one. The fill is going to be black. My font is going to be McLaren. I'm going to bump that up to 24. My text needs to be white, bold, and then I'm going to keep it off to the left. So this is going to say priorities. So now I have space for my 3 biggest priorities for that week. Next, I'm going to start adding my space for my daily tasks and agenda as well as my doodle. So I'm going to add a shape. I'm just going to add a rectangle. That will serve as the outline or the container for the days. And then I'm going to add a second rectangle. Which will serve as my container for my tasks and agenda, as well as my creative doodling space. Now I'm going to zoom in because I want these two containers to be touching so they look like one piece. I'm just going to bump that rectangle up a little bit. I'm going to change the fill of my top so that it's black. Change my text to McLaren 18. Bold, text color to white, and I'm going to set it again to be aligned to the left, but still in the center of this box. So before I start typing, I'm going to hit fit. And there I have Monday. I'm going to make sure all of the borders and the weight are the correct size or the correct color and size that I want, so that way it all looks the same. It all has a uniform look to it. So I'm going to bump this up just a little bit. And I need to, before I add my center line down my daily space, I'm going to triple check that the boxes that I've created fit all in one page. So I'm going to select my date and the box by holding down Control and clicking on both of them. I'm going to duplicate them by hitting Control D on my keyboard. I'm going to make sure that they are centered. I'm going to do that one more time. And I can actually make these a little bit bigger. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more space. I'm going to come into Format Options, Size and Rotation. I like it being 12. I like the width, but I need the height just a little bit more. So I'm going to make the height 5. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to do the same thing. So select both of them, duplicate, make sure they're centered. Okay. So now those are all centered on my page and they are evenly spaced. So now I'm going to add the final piece and then group them all together. So I like to split my days so that the left side of that space is for my tasks and my agenda, and the right side of that space gives me an area for my daily doodle that I like to do. So I'm going to go up here to line, going to insert just a straight line going down the center of my space. I'm going to change the color to black and the weight to 3, again, just because it'll match the look of everything else on the page. Going to zoom in a little bit and then have that line selected. On my keyboard, hit Control D for duplicate and then move it over just a hair to the right. I'm going to select both of my lines and move them over until to the right, or to the left, sorry, until they are centered in both vertically and horizontally in that space. So now I know the left side of my space and the right side of my space are even. So now I'm going to set this all up as one piece. So I'm going to hold down Control on my keyboard, select all the pieces, right click, and click Group. So now when I duplicate, it duplicates everything for me, and I only have to worry about going back in and updating or changing the date in each of these spaces. So I'm going to duplicate that on both sides, making sure that they are all aligned and spaced evenly. Now, Saturday and Sunday are going to be a little different. I'm actually going to split, one side is going to say Saturday and the other side is going to say Sunday. I don't typically take that time to do a small daily doodle. If I do, it is a large drawing that takes a little bit more time and space. So in that area, I'm going to write Saturday, and then I'm going to hit tab until I am on the right-hand side of that text box. Now I have Saturday and Sunday. You could decide to take this a step further if you wanted to come into your text boxes here and date them. This would be the 29th. Come in here, you can have this say the 30th. That is totally up to you. I don't typically go in and add dates because I like to reuse this same layout over and over again, and it means that I have to erase the dates every single time. So I actually just handwrite them in once they are uploaded into the Goodnotes app. So now that I have my first weekly layout completed, all I have to do is copy all of the elements onto the rest of my slides, and I am almost finished with my digital planner. So to copy all of the elements, I'm going to click on all of them while holding down the Control key on my keyboard. Going to right click and click copy, and then I am going to paste them onto the rest of the slides in this slideshow. So now I have a full planner for the month of February. The last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the guide. So now it looks clean and I know exactly what it's going to look like whenever I upload it into Goodnotes. That is our final step. So I'm going to download this slides presentation by clicking File, go to Download, and I'm going to download it as a PDF. When you download a slides presentation as a PDF, all of the links stick to it. So they're still going to be active once I download the PDF and upload it into Goodnotes. So I'm going to download the PDF to my Chromebook. I'm going to come into my Google Drive, go to my Goodnotes folder, and I'm going to then click New, File Upload, and I can select that planner that I just downloaded to my computer. Here I have it right here. So now I'm going to jump on my iPad and open it with the Goodnotes app. To upload the new digital planner that I just created into Goodnotes, I'm going to go into my drive and locate my Goodnotes PDF that I just downloaded into my drive. I'm going to click on the three dots and click Open In, and click Open in Goodnotes. This will make sure that all of the pages that I've downloaded come into the document so that now I can swipe through them and use them. I can click on a week. It will jump me to that week in my planner. When I want to make edits, I'm going to click on the pencil at the top of my menu, and now I can write all over my planner. I can add text boxes if I'd rather do that. And then when I'm ready, I can move pieces around to fit where they need to go. And there we have it. That is how I create the digital planner that I use to fit exactly what I need. If you would like a tutorial going more in depth of how I use the Goodnotes app to use my planner on a daily basis, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you learned how to create your own digital planner and upload it into the Goodnotes app. If you like this tutorial video and want to watch more, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you're notified when new videos are posted. Hope to see you soon.